All right, let's look at the quiz 2.1, problem number 3. All right, so we have a function given and a line, and what we want to do is we want to find equations of tangent lines to the given function that is also parallel to the given line. All right, so since you have a line given, we can find the slope from there. So I'm going to just try to isolate y from here. All right, so I'm going to, actually, I'm just going to add y. Wouldn't that work? I add y, so you have a 3x, add y, negative y cancel out, so it's a negative 9 is equal to y. All right, so you can see that here, slope shows up right here. All right, so this is going to be our m, right? So we already know the slope. Right, so the different part about this problem is that we usually have a point given, but they don't. But they give you the slope first, right? So we need to find a point, right? So since we have the slope, we can take the derivative. So f prime of x, and let's try to find that. All right, so this is going to be limit as h approaches 0, right? Then f of x plus h, so you put the x plus h instead of x, so you have x plus h, then you have to cube that, plus 2, minus original function f of x, which is x cubed, plus 2 over h. Right, then I'm going to go ahead and cancel out the things that I can cancel. So 2 minus 2, you can cancel that. Then I have to expand this x plus h cubed. Right, so you have a limit as h approaches 0. All right, then we're going to have, let's see, if you cube that, you're going to get the x cubed plus 3x squared h plus 3xh squared plus h cubed, right? You can do FOIL or whatever. I was using, formula a plus b cubed is a cubed plus 3a squared b plus 3ab squared plus b cubed, right? So in this case, a is x and b is h. So we got that, right? Then we still have minus x cubed from there, right? And all over h. All right, so we can cancel x cubed here. You have a minus x cubed, so you can cancel those. All right, the next step is, so you have 3 terms left over, but every single term has h in it. So we're going to pull out the factor out the common factor h. All right, so common factor is h. So if you pull h out from there, you have a 3x squared left. If you pull h from there, you're going to get the 3xh left. All right, if you pull h from h cubed, you're going to get the h squared left over, and then all over h. All right, so we can cancel common factor on top and bottom, so h and h cancel out, and also h is going to 0. Right, so this guy h is going to 0, and that's h going to 0. So 3x times 0 is 0, and the 0 square is 0. So those last two terms will go away, and you're left with just 3x squared. Right, so this is the derivative, right? But since m can be found by looking at the derivative, right? And whatever the x1 value plugged in, and we know that this is going to be, so if you're plugging x1 there, you have a 3x1 squared. And we know that this is supposed to be 3, because we found that the slope is 3, right? Because it's parallel, so they have the same slope. So we set that equal to 3, right? Then we can just solve this equation. So divide through by 3, you get the x1 squared is equal to 1. Then we can take the square root of both sides. So x1, actually, there are two possible numbers. We're going to have plus or minus 1, right? So we have that. All right, now, so we have two possible points, actually, we're supposed to find two tangent lines, right? So let's do the positive one, right? So if x1 comma y1, right? So let's pick the, so this is the first one, right? So let's use the positive one. So if x1 is 1, right? How do we find y value? All we have to do is plug in into a function, right? So f of 1 is equal to 1 comma. All right, plug in 1, 1 cubed plus 2, so that's 3, right? So we have that. So that's the point, and we already know that the slope is 3, so we can write equation. Y minus y1 is 3 is equal to, slope is 3, and x minus x1, which is 1, right? If you simplify that, you can simply just distribute 3 to x and a negative 1. You can get 3x minus 3. And then we can just add 3 so that y is isolated. Y is equal to 3x, if you add 3, and it's just 3x. Right? So we got the first one here. Here's the first one, so we got that. Right? And the next one, we're going to take x1 to be, because there's another number, right? It's either plus 1 or negative 1, right? So it's going to be negative 1, right? So if you plug in negative 1 for x, you get what? So it's a negative 1 comma. All right, so negative 1 cubed is negative 1 plus 2, so it's going to be 1, right? So, well, we can find equation just like before. Y minus y1 is 1 is equal to, slope is 3, and x minus x1. So minus negative 1 would be plus 1, right? So we have that. And if you want, you can just simply distribute 3 to x and the positive, positive 1. You get 3x plus 3. Then the last step would be we can add 1 to get rid of negative 1. So y is equal to 3x plus 4, right? Which is the second answer that they are looking for. All right, that's it. I hope that this was clear.